Hey there, let us look at a thorough solution of NECO 2025 mathematics objective, and I'm very sure this will be valuable to you. Let's watch and see. The first question is a problem on fraction, and it says evaluate two whole number 1 over 4 plus 3 whole number 1 over 2, everything over 4 whole number 1 over 2 minus 2 whole number 1 over 4. There's a little trick we can play here to make our solution faster. Since this is 1 over 4 and since this is 1 over 2, I can easily multiply this and this by 2. I didn't change anything. So this will be 2 over 4. Just so it will look the same with this. You get what I'm saying? The same thing here, I can multiply this by 2 over 2. Just watch what I'm saying. So this is equivalent to 1 over 4 plus 3 whole number 1 over 2 dot 2 over 2. I didn't change anything. So I'm just multiplying just this over 4 whole number 1 over 2 dot 2 over 2 minus 2 whole number 1 over 4. Just to make everything look the same so that I can easily add and subtract. So this is now 2 whole number 1 over 4 plus 3 whole number 2 over 4 over this is 4 whole number 2 over 4 minus 2 whole number 1 over 4. So for the numerator, I can add this whole number 2 plus 3 is 5 and 1 over 4 plus 2 over 4. You can easily do that. 1 over 4 plus 2 over 4 is simply 3 over 4. And the denominator, 4 minus 2 is 2. And this is 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. So this is why I multiply by 2, just to make the simplification faster. So this is 3 over 4. This is 5 whole number 3 over 4 divided by 2 whole number 2 minus 1, 1 over 4. And so at this point, I can convert. And if I convert, I will get 5 times 4, 20 plus 3. This is 23 over 4 divided by 4 times 2, 8 plus 1, 9 over 4. If we change division to multiplication, we will get 23 over 4 times 4 over 9. This can go with this, and we're left with 23 over 9. And if we reduce this, 9 can go to the 3 2 times. Remainder 5 over 9. And that's the evaluate 0.0035 over 0.210, leaving your answer in standard form. So what we have to do here is to convert each of them in standard form and then divide. So 0.0035 in standard form, 0.0035 in standard form, you move to the front, 1, 2, 3. Since we move 3 times, this will be 3.5 times 10. Since we move from the left to the right, it will be negative 3. And 0.210 in standard form, move 1, just 1. So this is 2.1 times 10 raised to the power minus 1. And so if you are to divide this, this is 3.5 times 10 to the power minus 3 over 2.1 times 10 to the power minus 1. I can divide this with this separately and then use the laws of indices to simplify this. So if I divide this with this, I will get 1.666 times from laws of indices, when I'm dividing two numbers with the same base, I subtract their powers. So this will be 10 to the power minus 3 minus 1. And so, since from the option this is approximated to two decimal place, this to two decimal place is simply 1.6. Since this is up to 5, we'll round up, and this will be 7 times 10 minus 3 minus is plus 1. So this is 1.67 times 10 minus 3 plus 1 is simply minus 2. So this is minus 2. And so the correct option is V. Evaluate 16 times 5 on modulo 5. So there are two ways we can approach this, because you remember modular arithmetic is just like the wall clock. So you could say 16 times 7, which is 1112, and then find what's the remainder when this 5 divide the 12. So I mean 16 times 7, this is 1112, and then you ask yourself, if 1112 is divided by 5, 5 into 11 is 2, remainder 1, into 12 is 2, remainder 2. So this remainder is what the answer is to this. Meaning, when you divide the multiplication of this by 5, what's the remainder? The other way is to put 16 in modulo 5 and 7 in modulo 5 and multiply. So 16, you agree with me, is equivalent to 1 in modulo 5. Because if 5 divides 16 is 3, remainder 1. And 7 is equivalent to 2 in modulo 5. Because if 5 divides 7 is 1, remainder 2. And so 16 multiplying 7 is equivalent to 1 multiplied by 2 in modulo 5. And this is simply 2 modulo 5. And that's it. Find the determinant of this matrix. And so recall how we find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. You take this, you cross out the row and the column, and you find the determinant of this. Minus this, you cross out the row and this column, and you find the determinant of this. Plus this, cross out the rows and column, find the determinant of this, and then add it together. But to make it much faster, you can either go through this way or go through any of them. But since we have 0 here, it will make our work much easier. We can decide to go through this column. And if we do that, then this will be plus, minus, plus. And so we'll have 1. To strike this out, we are left with this. Determinant of 4, 3, minus 5, 4. Next is minus 0. This will be 0. Minus 0. Determinant of 3. So if you cross this and cross this, you're left with this and this. 3, 2, minus 5, 4, plus 2. Determinant of, if you cross this and this, 3, 2, 4, 3. So determinant of 2 by 2 matrix, you recall, is this minus this. This leading diagonal, the multiplication of this leading diagonal minus this. So this is 1, 4 times 4 minus 5 times 3. This is 0 because this multiplies 0 is 0. Minus 0 plus 2. 3 times 3 minus 4 times 2. And so let's evaluate. 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 5 times 3 is minus 15. And minus times minus is plus 15. Minus 0 plus 2. 3 times 3 is 9. And 4 times 2 is 8. So 16 plus 15 is 31. Times 1 is 31. Plus 9 minus 8 is 1 times 2 is 2. And so this is 33. So the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix is 33, and that's D. Find the amount paid by an investor that took a loan of 4,000 naira for 6 months at 12% per annum simple interest. So you are looking for the amount. You recall that formula for amount is simply principal plus interest. We know what the principal is, which is the 4,000. We don't know what the interest is. So we need to find what the interest is first. But interest we know is principal times rate times time over 100. Notice that the time is given in months. So we have to convert these months to years by dividing by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So principal is 4,000, rate is 12, and time is 6 over 12, everything over 100. This 20 can cancel this 12 can cancel this, and 6 into 40, or 40 times 6 is 240 naira. And so our amount will then be 4,000 naira plus 240. And if we add this, we'll get 4,240. And the correct option is C. The first term of an AP is 36, and the fourth term is 6. Find the common difference. We recall that the n term of an AP is A plus n minus 1 D. We are given that the first term is 36 and the fourth term is 6. Fourth term means T4 simply means A plus 4 minus 1, 3D. We're already told that the fourth term is 6. This is 6. Now, we are given that the first term is 36. So we substitute A as 36 because A stands for first term and D stands for the common difference which we are looking for. So 36 plus 3D equals 6. Subtract 36 from both sides. 3D equals 6 minus 36. 3D will give us minus 30. Then we divide both sides by 3 to find what D is. So that at the end of the day, D will be minus 10, and which is B. A fridge bought for 120,000 naira depreciated by 25% in the first year and 20% the second year. Find its value at the end of the second year. So we first of all look for its value at the end of the first year. So first year, its value will be its current value 120,000 minus 25% of this, meaning its depreciation. 25 over 100 times 120,000. And so this is 120,000 minus this go with this, and 25 times 1,200 is 30,000. So if we subtract this, after first year, its value will be 90,000. Now for the second year, we are told that it depreciated by 20%. So we do the same thing. Second year, we're looking for the value. The value will be this current value after the first year minus 20% of this value because it depreciated 20% the second year. 20 over 100 times 90,000. An easier way to do this is to factorize 90,000 out. So this is 90,000. 1 minus, this is 0.2, and this is 90,000 times 0.8. And if we multiply this, we'll get 72,000. So this is the value of the fridge after second year. Meaning, if the man want to resell it, this is what he will sell it after second year. And that's B. We're asked to rationalize 15 plus root 5 over 4 plus root 5. And what we do in rationalization is simply to remove the surd from the denominator. And how we do that is to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. And by conjugate, it simply means changing this plus to minus. So this will be 15 plus root 5 over 4 plus root 5 times 4 minus root 5 over 4 minus root 5. If you notice, we are not changing anything. This is just like multiplying by 1 because this over this is 1. So if we multiply this, 15 times 4 is 60. 15 times 5 is 15 root 5. Root 5 times 4 is plus 4 root 5. Root 5 times root 5 is root 25. And root 25 is 5. This is minus 5. Everything over. If you notice, the denominator is difference of 2 squared. And recall, difference of 2 squared says a minus b, a plus b is a squared minus b squared. And so since what we have at denominator here is this, we simply say 4 squared minus b squared. 60 minus 5 is 55 minus 15 root 5 plus 4 root 5 is minus 11 root 5. 4 square is 16. Root 5 square is 5 because this is like saying root 5 times root 5, which is root 25, and root 25 is 5. This is 5. And 16 minus 5 is 11. So we have 55 minus 11 root 5 over 11. We can divide through by 11. 11 here, 11 here, 11 here, and we are left with 5 minus root 5. And that's A. We are told that given two quantities, x and y, such that when x increases, y decreases, and vice versa, the two quantities are said to be what? So for you to answer this accurately, you should be able to know what direct proportion is, inverse proportion, joint proportion. There's nothing like partial proportion or vertical proportion. So direct proportion is when, let's say, y varies with x. And so when we introduce the constant of proportionality, we say y equals kx. So in this case, as x is increasing, y is increasing by a constant of proportionality. For inverse proportion, we have y varies inversely with x. And so if you introduce the constant of proportionality, we have y equals k over x. And so in this case, if x is increasing, y is decreasing. And if x is decreasing, y is increasing. And so that is what fits this, which is B. And so the third one is joint proportion, where you say y is jointly proportional to x and inversely proportional to z. And so if you introduce the constant of proportionality, you have y equals to kx over z. So this is just combining the direct proportion with the inverse proportion. And so there's nothing like partial proportion and vertically proportion. Although you have what we have partial variation. The universal set mu is a set of all integers, and the subset p, q, and r of mu are given as follows. P are those x such that x is strictly greater than 0. Q are those x such that x is odd. And R are those x such that x is between -5 and 5 inclusive. We are asked to look for Q intersection R. So it will be wise to open up what each of the sets contains. So the universal set mu are integers. Remember integers, they are those x in integers. Remember definition of integers, those numbers that are minus dot 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 -3 -2 -1 0 1 2 3, and it continues. P are those x so that they are greater than 0 and they are integers. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Q are those s that are integers but are odd. Remember, odd numbers, they are defined as 2n plus 1, where n is an integer. So if n is minus, for instance, if n is -1, 2 times -1 is -2 plus 1 is -1. If n is -2, -4 plus 1 is -3. So this is dot 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 -3 -1 1 3 and so on. And so R is -5 -4 -3 -2 -1 0 1 2 3 4 5. And so we're asked to look for Q intersection R, meaning what are those things that you can see in Q and you can also see in R. Remember, this list is unending as long as it's odd. There's -5, there's -7, there's -9, and so on. And there's 5, 7, 9. And so if you look at this and this, you agree with me that you will see -5, see -3, see -1, you see 1, you see 3, you see 5, and that's all. So the correct answer is E. The 11th problem of NECO 2025 is on sum to infinity of a geometric progression. Remember, a geometric progression is a sequence of numbers that increases or decreases by a common ratio, which is a multiplicative effect. The question says, calculate the sum to infinity of a geometric progression whose first term is 2 and the common ratio is 0.5. You want to recall the formula for sum to infinity. The formula says sum to infinity is first term over 1 minus the common ratio. And we are told that first term is 2 and the common ratio is 0.5. So 0.5 is known as 1 over 2, 1 minus 1 over 2. This is 2 over 1 minus 1 over 2 is simply 1 over 2. And this is 2 times 2 over 1. And this is simply 4. So the sum of that geometric progression that has common ratio 0.5 with first term 2 is 4. Given A as 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, obviously these are prime numbers, and B as 1 to 10. Find the cardinality of A union B. Remember what union is. Union of two sets is the collection of the element of the two sets without repetition. And so A union B is simply listing out what you see here with what you see here without repeating any of them, because some of them are in both, like 2, 3 are in both. So this will be, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6, there's 7, there's 8, there's 9, there's 10, there's 11, there's 13, there's 17. And so the cardinality of A union B is simply asking us how many elements are in this union. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And so the cardinality of the union of this set is simply 13, and that's B. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I asked to simplify this sort. 5 root 12 minus 4 root 75 plus 3 root 48. And how we go about it is you ask yourself, what is the largest perfect square in 12, 75, and 48? So if you look at 12, you agree with me that 12 is 4 times 3. And so I can reduce this as 5 root 4 times 3 minus, if you look at 75, the largest perfect square inside is 25. So I can reduce it as 25 times 3. And finally, if you look at 48, I can reduce this as 16 times 3. 16 times 3. I mean, you could use 4, but 4 is not the largest perfect square. So 16 times 3. And I can split this to be 5 root 4 times root 3 minus 4 root 25 times root 3 plus 3 root 16 times root 3 from the laws of solve. And so root 4 is 2. So this is 5. 2 times root 3 minus 4. Root 25 is 5 times root 3. Root 16 is 4 times root 3. 2 times 5 is 10. So we have 10 root 3. Because 10 times root 3 is 10 root 3. Minus 5 times 4 is 20. And 20 times root 3 is 20 root 3. Plus 4 times 3 is 12. And 12 times root 3 is 12 root 3. And so we can easily add and subtract. 10 plus 12 root 3 is 22 root 3 minus 20 root 3. And finally, this is simply 2 root 3. And that's D. If P is directly proportional to Q and inversely proportional to R, find the equation connecting P, Q, and R. We saw in the previous question how we have direct proportion, inverse proportion, and joint proportion. This is a typical example of what a joint proportion is. And so let's try it. P is directly proportional to Q. This is how we write it. And then is now inversely proportional to R. And so if we introduce the constant of proportionality, P will be K Q over R. And now if you make K the subject of formula, it will simply be K will be P R over Q. And that is E. If you're not like this video, please like, comment, and share. Subscribe too. The length of a classroom window was measured as 400 cm. Find the percentage error if the actual length is 399.5. So you want to recall the formula for percentage error. Percentage error is simply the error or the absolute value of the error over the true or actual value times 100. And so how we measure the error is the true minus the false or the miscalculated value. So this is 399.5 minus 400. That is the essence of the absolute value. Or you could say 400 minus 399. So in that case, the absolute value will not be necessary. The true value is 399.5 times 100. If we subtract this, this is absolute value of minus 0.5 over 399.5 times 100. And so this is simply 0.5 times 100 over 399.5. If you times this in your calculator, you will get 0.125. And that is simply A. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you have not done that yet. Thank you. Solve the equation x to the power 5 equals 1 over 32. So what we simply do here, x to the power 5, we can always write 1 over 32 as 32 to the power minus 1 from the laws of indices. And so x to the power 5, I can put 32 in base of 2, and it is 2 to the power 5 power minus 1. X to the power 5 simply equals, from the law of product rule in indices, this will multiply this. So we have 2 to the power minus 5. At this point, I can take fifth root of both sides to find what x is. And this will give me x to the power 5 to the fifth root. This is fifth root of 2 to the power minus 5. And I'll have x. Fifth root is the same as 2 to the power minus 5 power 1 over 5. So that my x is 5 can cancel this. Now I'm having 2 to the power minus 1. And 2 to the power minus 1, just what we did here, is simply 1 over 2. And that's D. Evaluate log 8 to base 5 plus log 9 to base 5 minus log 2 to base 5. So we can do this using the laws of logarithm. Since they are all to base 5, this is simply, for addition, we multiply the numbers. So this is log to base 5, 8 multiplying 9, and for subtraction, we divided by 2. So this and this are equivalent way of writing the same thing. So we have log 8 times 9 is 72 over 2 to base 5. And so this is log 72 over 2 is 36 to base 5. And 36 I can put in base 6 as log 6 square to base 5. From laws of logarithm, this power can multiply the log. So this is 2 log 6 to base 5. And that is C. Make sure you like this video, share, and subscribe. Thank you. If A is given as 2312 and B is given as 101 minus 1, find A plus 3B. So A plus 3B is simply 2312 plus 3 multiplying B, which is 101 minus 1. And this is 2312. And when a constant multiplies a matrix, it multiplies all the entries. So this is plus 303 minus 3. And now, if you are adding two matrices together, you add their corresponding entries. So 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 0 is 3, 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 minus 3, because this is plus 2 minus 3 is minus 1. And the correct option is A. Find the quadratic equation whose roots are minus 5 and 3 over 2. There are two ways to approach this. You could either equate x to be this and then find the product of the two factors, or you could assume their root alpha and beta and then use the formula to find it. So let's do the two method. So if we say let x equals minus 5 and x equals 3 over 2, if we take it to the left hand side, we'll have x plus 5 equals 0, or x. So if we multiply this is 2x minus 3 equals 0. And so you have to multiply x plus 5 and 2x minus 3, then the product will give 0. Just like reverse engineering. So you know how to multiply two factors. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. 5 times 2x is plus 10x. 5 times minus 3 is minus 15 equals 0. These two, 10x minus 3x is 7x. So this is 2x squared minus plus 7x minus 15 equals 0. The other way is using the formula, or x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equals 0, where alpha and beta are the roots. And so this is just summing it. So we have x squared minus 5 plus 3 over 2x, and this is just multiplying this, and this is minus 15 over 2. So this will be minus 15 over 2 equals 0. So if I add this, I'll have x squared. 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. Minus 10 plus 3 is minus 7, times minus is plus 7 over 2x minus 15 over 2 equals 0. Multiply through by the LCM, which is 2. You have 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals 0. And that is, if x minus 3 is one of the factors of x squared plus 14x minus 51, find the other factor. So what we do here is using long division. Since we know what one factor is, if we divide this dividend by this divisor, we'll get what the other factor is. So x squared plus 14x minus 51. So we divide this by long division, x minus 3. X into x squared is x. X times x is x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. So we subtract this 0. 14x minus minus is 17x, and we'll bring this down, 51. X into 17 is plus 17. 17 times x is 17x. 17 times minus 3 is minus 51. If we subtract this 0, 0, since we have 0 here, meaning there's no remainder, it means, therefore, the other factor is x plus 17. And that's B. Solve x minus 6 over 3 equals x minus 4 over 4. So what you do here is just multiply both sides, that is cross multiply, or you multiply both sides by the LCM, which is 12. So if I cross multiply, I'll have 4x minus 6, and if this multiply this will be 3x minus 4. So open bracket, I have 4x minus 24, open bracket, 3x minus 12. Collect like terms. So this can come here, I'll have 4x minus 3x, and this can go here. This changes to plus. So I have 24 minus 12. 4x minus 3x is x. 24 minus 12 is 12. So the answer is factorize 4y squared minus 144. An interesting question. So One thing you want to do is, since 4 is common between this first term and the second term, you can factor it out. So this is 4 bracket y square. I factorize 4 from here. This will be 36. I can put 36 in index of 6 as 6 square, because 6 square is 36. If you look at this closely, you notice that this is difference of 2 square. And remember, difference of 2 square, a square minus b square is a minus b, a plus b. And so I can split this as 4, y minus 6, y plus 6. And that's C. Solve the following equations simultaneously. And so we're asked to evaluate 5 to the power x plus 2y equals 1 and 3 to the power 2x plus y equals 27. So for the first one, 5 to the power x plus 2y equals 1. You know that we can always write 1 as 5 to the power 0. Any number to the power 0 is 1. One of the rules in exponential equation or laws of indices. So this is 5 to the power 0. And if we do that, it implies that x plus 2y equals 0 from the laws of indices. Since the base are the same, we have to equate the powers. So from the second one, 3 to the power 2x plus y, 27 I can express in index of 3 as 3 to the power 3. And since the base are the same, it implies that 2x plus y have to equal 3. And so what I can do here is I can multiply this by 2 and multiply this by 1 just to eliminate x to find y. If I do that, I will have 2x plus 4y equals 0, and this is simply 2x plus y equal 3. Let's call this equation 1, equation 2. So if I subtract, this is 0, 4y minus y is 3y, and 0 minus 3 is minus 3. To find y, I divide both sides by 3. I'll get my y to be minus 1. So since I've gotten y, I have to substitute minus 1 for y in equation 1. So 2x plus 4 minus 1 equals 0. So 2x will be, this is minus 4. Take it to the other side, it becomes 4. Divide both sides by 2. I'll have x to be 2. So at the end of the day, x is 2, y is minus 1. So the answer is C. Make B the subject of formula in this expression or this equation. So we have D to be square root of AB minus C square B. So this is where B is. Want to make it the subject of formula. So the first thing you want to do is to remove this root sign by taking the square of both sides. So D square will be AB over C minus C square B. We have now removed the square root. And so the next is to factorize B, since we want making it the sort of formula. So this square is simply A over C minus C square. And then, since we are looking for B, okay, let's simplify this. This square is A, LCM is C, so this is A minus C cubed over C. So now I can multiply both sides by C over A minus C cubed, so that I will get B to be C, that is the inverse of this, A minus C cubed times D square. So my answer is CD square over A minus C cubed, and so that is A. Consider the statement P. Bayo is a footballer. Q. Bayo scored a goal. Which of the following options interprets Bayo is a mechanic if and only if Bayo did not score a goal? So just a recap, in truth table, we have and, we have or, we have implies, that is if, then we have implication, by implication, by implication, which is if and only if. And so we have negation, that is not or not. And so we are told that P is Bayo is a footballer. If in this case we are told that Bayo is a mechanic, it means the correct representation of this is not P, because Bayo is a footballer. And the second statement says Bayo did not score a goal, but we are told that Q is Bayo scored a goal. So the second statement is not Q. Now, how do we connect it with if and only if? It's just to use this symbol, which is if and only if. So Bayo is a mechanic if and only if Bayo did not score a goal. So this is how it's written, and that's is which of the following options represent the number line. So if you are to watch this, you want to first of all check where is this circle pointing at. It's pointing at -6 and 1. The next thing is this shaded? If it is open, it is either less than or greater than. If it is shaded, it's either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Now, this means S is greater than -6. X greater than -6. And this simply means X is less than, because it's coming this way, or equal to 1. So how do we combine these two? So the way we combine this is writing this first. We reverse this. If X is greater than -6, then -6 is less than X. So it's like saying, if I am older than you, that means you are younger than me. So if we have to combine these two, and X is less than 1, it will be -6 less than X, and this X is less than or equal to 1. And the correct option is A. If 6m minus n over m plus 2n is 2, find the value of m over n. So there are different ways you can approach this. You can decide to cross multiply. We'll have 6m minus n equals 2m plus 2n. So this is 6m minus n equals 2m plus 4n. So since we are looking for m over n, it is wise to divide through by n. And so do that, we'll have divide by n, we'll have 6m over n minus 1 equals 2m over n plus 4. And so I can take this to the left hand side. This is 6m over n minus 2m over n equals, I can take this to the right, 4 plus 1. This is like saying 6x minus 2x, which is 4x. So this is simply 4m over n, which is 5. Since I'm looking for what m over n is, m over n is simply divide both side by 4, 5 over 4. And so it is D. The 28th question of NECO 2025 is about finding a point where a rational expression is undefined. And we are told that find the values of S for which the expression is undefined. is simply to find where the denominator is 0, because we know that numbers like 4 over 0 minus 5 over 0, they are all undefined. And so to find where this is undefined is to equate the denominator to be 0. So 4x squared minus 196 equals 0. 4x squared, take this to the right, 196, and divide both sides by 4, that x squared will be 4 here is 4, remainder 3 into 36 is 9. And so to find x is to take the square root of both sides, which is plus or minus square root of 49, and this is plus or minus 7. And that's C. Emeka and Bimbo's ages were added up to be 28 years. 5 years ago, Emeka was twice as old as Bimbo. Find their present ages respectively. So we start by saying, let their present ages be x and y. And so since their ages added up to be 28, x plus y is 28. 5 years ago, Emeka was x minus 5. And we are told that Emeka was twice as old as Bimbo. Emeka's age 5 years ago was twice. Bimbo's 5 years ago was y minus 5. And so can solve this simultaneously. So we have x plus x minus 5 equals 2y minus 10. If I take this to the left hand side, I have x minus 2y equals minus 10 plus 5 is minus 5. So if I call this equation 1 and call this equation 2, so I can subtract equation 1 minus equation 2. Equation 1 minus 2. This s is gone. Y minus minus 2y is plus 3y. And 28 minus minus 5 is 33. So I can divide both sides by 3. So that my y is 11. And so to find what s is, I can substitute y equals 11 in equation 1. I have x plus 11 equals 28. And my x will be 28 minus 11. And this is 17. Therefore, Emeka's age is 17 and Bimbo's age is 11, which is B. What must be added to y squared minus 7y to make the expression a perfect square? And so, how we do this, y squared minus 7y, is take half the coefficient of y, which is minus 7 over 2, square it and add it to this. So this is y squared minus 7y, add minus 7 over 2 square. And so this is simply y minus 7 over 2. This is what we can add to make this a perfect square. This is what a perfect square looks like. And so what we add is minus 7 over 2 square, which is, that is the solve 5 bracket y plus 2 minus 2 bracket 3y minus 5 equals 4. And so we just simply open the bracket. This will give us 5y plus, this is 10. This is minus 6y. Minus minus is plus. 2 times 5 is 10 equals 4. So you collect like terms. So 5y minus 6y is minus y. 10 plus 10 is 20 equals 4. and this is minus y. Take 20 to the right hand side, it becomes minus 20. Minus y will become minus 16. Divide both sides by minus 1 because we are looking for y and not minus y. So that will get y to be 16. That's D. What's the range of values of s for the line graph in this figure? So just to refresh our memory, when this is not shaded, it simply means less than, is less than or greater than. If it is shaded, it means less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. If this is our x, for this simply means x less than minus 1, and this simply means s greater than or equal to 2. And so for us to combine both of them, it means x is simply less than minus 1 and x is greater than or equal to 2. Another way of doing this is saying minus 1 is greater than s. Because if s is less than minus 1, that means minus 1 is greater than s. But we can always see the option here, which is D. If A is minus 4, B is 6, and C is minus 3, find the value of 3AC over B squared minus 4C squared. So we just substitute 3 times minus 4 times minus 3 over B squared is 6 squared minus 3 squared. This is minus is plus. 3 times 12, c squared is 36, minus 3 squared is 9, and so this is 3 times 12 is 36. 36 minus 9 is 27. 9 can go. 9 here is 4. 9 here is 3. And this is one whole number, 1 over 3, which is A. If the volume of a rectangular base pyramid is 60 cm cube and its base area is 18 cm square, calculate the height of the pyramid. So you want to record the volume of the pyramid. The volume is given as 1/3 base area times height. And so we are given the volume as 60, 1/3, and the base area as 18. We are looking for the height. 3 can go into 18 6 times, and 6 can divide 6 to 10. So height is simply 10 cm, which is A. We are asked to find the gradient of a line joining the points A minus 5/8 and B 11 minus 2. So you want to recall the formula for gradient M to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so this is, we'll call this y2, x2. This is x, y1, x1. So y2 is minus 2 minus 8. X2 is 11 minus 5, which is plus 5. So minus 2 minus 8 is minus 10. 11 plus 5 is 16. And 2 can go, is minus 5 over 8. And that's B. If triangle ABC has sides AB as 6 cm, BC as 5 cm, AC as 7 cm, find cos B. So let's sketch. If this is A, B, C, and AB is 6 cm, BC is 5 cm, AC is 7 cm. You want to recall that if we are looking for B squared naturally, this will be A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos B. And so now we are looking for the angle. So we have to make cos B the square root of formula. So cos B will now be A square plus C square minus B square all over 2AC. And so our A is the side facing this angle, which is 5 square, plus our C, the side facing this angle, 6 square, minus B is 7 square over 2 times 5 times 6. 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 7 square is 49, 2 times 5, 10, 10 times 6 is 60. So 25 plus 30 is 55, plus 6 is 61, and 61 minus 9, 61 minus 49, this 11, 2 is 12. So this is 12 over 60. And so 12 can go here 1, 12 can go here 5. So this is 1 over 5. So it is A. 2 points, A and B, on the equator have longitude 162 degree east and 74 degree west, respectively. What's the shortest distance between them? So if we take a sketch, this is the longitude, the prime meridian, and this is the equator. So 162 degree east is somewhere around here, 162 degree east, and 74 degree west somewhere around there. This is 74 degree west. And we're asked to look for the shortest distance between them. Now, since they are on the opposite sides, we have since they're on the opposite side, that is east and west, the angular difference is 74 plus 162, which is 236. Since we are interested in the shortest distance, so the shortest distance is the other way around, such that we subtract this from 360 degrees, because you know this is divided like from 0 to 180, from 0 to 180. Since it has exceeded 180 degrees, we need to look for the other side that makes it 360. So the shortest angle first is 360 minus 236, and this is 124 degrees. And so the shortest distance along, if we call here x, we'll call here y, will be this angle 124 degrees over 360 times 2 pi r, 2 times 22 over 7 times 6,400. And so this cancel this. If we multiply through and divide, we will get 13,856.50 kilometer. That's the answer. The bearing of north 75 degree west can also be expressed as what in 3-digit bearing. So let's represent north 75 degree west. So this is north pole, this is south, this east, this west. So north 75 degree west is somewhere here. And so this is 75. This is not 75 degree west. So in 3-digit bearing, we're just looking for its equivalent, right? That is subtracting it from 360. So not 75 degree west is simply 360 minus 75, and that is 285 degrees. That is what not 75 degree west is in 3-digit bearing. That is E. A hunter 1.5 meter tall observes the angle of elevation of a bird on top of a tree to be 60 degrees. If the hunter is 100 meters away from the bird, find the height of the tree correct to one decimal place. Now, if this is the tree and this is the horizontal distance and this is the hunter and then this is his angle of elevation. This is his eye level. We are told that the hunter is 1.5 meter tall and the angle of elevation is 60 degrees and he's 100 meters away from the bird. This is where the bird is. So we are asked to look for the height of the tree. We already know that this is 1.5 meter and so the height of the tree, let's call this h. So h is just from here to this. So the height of the tree will be h plus 1.5 meter. That's the height of the tree. And so we'll use opposite over hypotenuse, which is sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Sine 60 is h over 100 and h is 100. Sine 60 is root 3 over 2 and 2 can go into 100 50 times, so h is 50 root 3. And so the height of the hunter, is simply 50 root 3 plus 1.5 and this will give us 88.102 meter and that's B. Find the volume of a cone of radius 6 cm and vertical height 7 cm. So, if we have a cone, we have the vertical height and the radius 6 cm, 7 cm. We are interested in the volume. Recall that the volume of a cone is 1/3 base area, which is pi r squared times height. And so this 1/3 times 22 over 7 times 6 square times height is 7. 7 can go into 7 and 3 can go one of the 6 here. So if this is 6 times 6, 3 here is 2. And so this is 2 times 6 is 12. This is 22 times 12, which is 264 centimeter cubed. And that's it. We are asked to calculate the surface area of a sphere with radius 3.5. It's just for you to recall the formula. Surface area of a sphere as 4 pi r squared. And so you substitute your pi and r. 4 times 22 over 7 times 3.5 times 3.5. 3.5 here is 2. 2 here is 2. So we have 44 times 3.5. So this is like saying 44 times 7 over 2. And so 2 here is 22. And 22 times 7 is 154 centimeter square. That's D. Find the radius of the parallel of latitude 40 degrees north to the nearest kilometer, taking arrow as 6,400 kilometers. So we know that the radius of the parallel of latitude is the radius of the earth, cos phi, where phi is the latitude. So this is 6,400 cos 40 degrees. And if you multiply this in your calculator, you will get 4,902.68. The nearest kilometer is approximately 4,903 kilometers. That's B. In this figure, O is the center of the circle. Find the value of Y. So we use the rule that if we know what this is, you can get Y because angular center is twice as circumference. So let's find what this is using the rule that angle on a straight line is supplementary. That means they sum up to 180. So let's look for angle CAB is simply 180 minus 127. And the reason is angles on a straight line. And so this is 53 degrees. And so therefore, Y is twice 53 degrees, which is angle at center twice at circumference. And so 2 times 53 is 106 degrees. And that's B. Find the value of X in this figure. So by similar triangle, this angle is similar to the bigger triangle. And so if here is MN, we know that AMN is similar to ABC. So that AM over AB is equal to AN over AC is equal to MN over BC. And so using this relationship, with this first two, we can get the job done. AM is X. This is AB. AB is X plus 8. AN is 9. AC is 9 plus 6, which is 15. And so to find S, we cross multiply. 15x will be 9x. 9 times 8 is 72. Subtract 9s from both sides. 15s minus 9s is 6x equals 72. So divide both sides by 6. X is 6 here is 1 into 12 is 2. S is 12. So that is C. The 45th question of NECO 2025 is on polygon. And what we are seeing here in this diagram is pentagon. We are asked to find the value of Y in figure 3.5. Since we are given the exterior angles, we ask ourselves, what's the sum of the interior angle of a regular pentagon? What's the sum of the interior angle of a regular polygon? The sum is 360. So if we sum all this exterior angle, it should give 360. That is how we look for Y. So that sum of exterior angle equals 360. So that 4y plus 4y plus 2y plus 3y plus 5y equals 360. 4y plus 4y is 8y plus 2y is 10y plus 5y 15y is 18y. 18y equals 360. Divide both sides by 18. So 18 into 36 is 2. So y is obviously 20. That is C. In a circle of radius 10 cm, find the distance of a chord of length that is 16 cm from the center of the circle. So to sketch it, If this is the center, this is the chord. We are told that the chord is 16 cm. And so the line from the center to the chord always bisect this chord into two equal halves. So if this is 16 cm, this will be 8 cm, this will be 8 cm. And we are told that this is 10 cm. This is what we are looking for, this distance. So from Pythagoras theorem, we know that d square plus 8 square equals to 10 square. So d square plus 64 equals to 100. So that d square is 100 minus 64. This is 36. So that d is square root of 36. This is 6 cm. And so the distance from the center to the chord is 6 cm. If the bearing of r from x is 58 degrees, what is the bearing of s from r? Bearing of r from s 58 degrees. So that means from. You start with the from. This is the from. So this is where s is. And so want to sketch arrow. So arrow from s is 58 degrees. What's the bearing of s from arrow? S from arrow is simply the whole of this. But this is alternate to this because these are two parallel lines with a transversal. So this 58 degrees. And you know this is angle on a straight line is simply 180 degrees. So 180 plus 58 is the angle we are looking for, which is 238 degrees. So this is the bearing of S from arrow, and that's D. Calculate the value of Y in this diagram. So this is Y. These two mark implies that this angle and this angle are equal. So base angle of an isosceles triangle are equal. So if this is Y, this definitely have to be Y. And so you know that the exterior angle of a triangle is the sum of the two opposite interior angles. So angle ABD equal to angle BAC plus angle BCA. Opposite angle of a triangle equals sum of the two opposite interior angles. So 144 degrees have to equal y plus y. And so 144 equals 2y divided by 2. So that will get y to be 72 degrees, which is B. We are told that if the mean of the numbers 10, 14, x, 11, 13 is x, find the value of x. You recall the formula for finding mean, x bar to the summation of x over how many they are. So we sum 10 plus 14 plus x plus 11 plus 13. They are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 5. We are told that it is x. So cross multiply. This 5x equals 10 plus 14 is 24, plus 11 is 35, plus 13 is 48. So we have 48 plus x. So subtract x from both sides. 5x minus x equals 48. This is 4x equals 48. Divide both sides by 4. So that x, 4 here is 1, 4 here is 2. So x is 12. The probability of a student passing an examination is 2 over 3. If 3 students write the examination, what's the probability that they all pass? Correct to 2 decimal places. So the probability that all pass is the product of the probability that a single one pass. Is simply 2 over 3 times 2 over 3 times 2 over 3. This is the probability that they all pass. If you are looking for the probability that they all fail, you subtract the probability of success from probability from 1, you get probability of failure, which is 1 over 3 times 1 over 3 times 1 over 3. That's the probability that they all fail. So, but this is what we are interested in. This is 8 over 27, and if we reduce it, this is 0.296. To two decimal places, this is 1, 2. Since this is up to 5, we round up to 1, add it here, becomes 10, becomes 1. Add it here, this is now 0.30. That is B. Table 3.1 is the result of 3 groups of students who cast their votes on a proposal. If a student is chosen at random, what's the probability that the student is against the proposal? So these are the number of students that are against the proposal. These are the number of students that are for the proposal. So you want to know how many students are in total. Total students are 6 plus 4 plus 10 plus 5 plus 7 plus 3. This is 35. So probability of students who are against is number of those who are against, which is 5 plus 7 plus 3 over number of those in the class, 35, or in the group. So this is 15 over 35. 5 here is 3, 5 here is 7. So this is 3 over 7, and that's B. We are asked to calculate the mean of the distribution in this table. And you recall how we calculate mean. Mean is summation of fx over summation of f. So for this class interval, we take the middle number or the average. 0 plus 4 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. And so if we multiply it by the frequency, that is mean of fs, s times f, it is 2 times 4. Here, 9 plus 5 is 14, divided by 2 is 7, plus 7 times 5. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 times 6. 34 divided by 2 is 17. 17 times 7 over the summation of the frequency. 4 plus 5 is 9. 15. 22. So this is 22. This is 8. This is 35. This is 72. 7 times 7 is 49. Add down 9, carry 4. 7 times 1 is 7. This is 119 over 22. If we add this, we'll get 234 over 22. And if we divide, we'll get 10.636, approximately 10.6, which is C. A bag contains 3 yellow and 2 red identical balls. If 2 balls are picked at random, one after the other without replacement, what's the probability of picking 2 balls of different color? So this is how we do this. First of all, total ball will be 3 yellow plus 2 red equals to 5. So probability of different colors is probability of yellow, red, or probability of red, yellow. Since it is without replacement, it means if I picked a yellow, that means my yellow has decreased by 1 and my sample space has decreased by 1. So yellow red is 3 over 5 times red is running 2 and the total sample space is running 4 because it's without replacement. Or red yellow is 2 over 5 times yellow is 3 over 4. And this is 2. Here is 2. This is 3 over 10. 2 here is 2. This is 3 over 10. And this is simply 6 over 10. And 2 can go 3 over 5. And that's C. Calculate the variance of the following data: 2, 3, 5, 6. Recall that variance is summation of f of x minus x bar over summation of frequency, but we don't have frequency here because none of them are reoccurring. And so we need to find the mean first. The mean is simply summation of x over f, which is 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 over how many they are, which is 4. And this is 2 plus 3 is 5, 10, 16 over 4. 16 over 4, and this is 4. And so the variance is summing the deviation from the mean and then dividing by how many they are. So this will be, the first is 2 minus the deviation plus all square plus 3 minus the mean all square plus 5 minus the mean all square plus 6 minus the mean all square over how many they are, which is 4. 2 minus 4 is minus 2, this square, minus 1 square, 1 square, 2 square, everything over 4. And so minus 2 square is 4, minus 1 square is 1, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4 over 4. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2 is 10 over 4. And 2 here is 5 over 2, and this is 2.5. That's B. Find the range of the following data: 23, 72, 51, 61, 42, 34, 22, 52. Recall that range is the highest data minus the lowest data. And so the highest from here is 72, and the lowest from here is 22. And so this is simply 50. This is the range. Calculate the standard deviation of the following set of numbers: 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 2. So the first thing you want to do is to calculate the mean, which is summation of x over f. And this is 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 over how many they are, which is 6. So this is 10. 10 plus 10, 20, 29, 36. So this is 6. So standard deviation is simply square root of variance, which is summation of f x minus x bar square over summation of f. And so this is square root of 9 minus 6 all square plus 8 minus 6 all square plus 7 minus 6 all square plus 6 minus 6 all square plus 4 minus 6 all square plus 2 minus 6 all square, everything over 6. And so 9 minus 6 is 3, and 3 square is 9. 8 minus 6 is 2, 2 square is 4. 7 minus 6 is 1, 1 square is 1. 6 minus 6 is 0. 0 square is 0. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. Minus 2 square is 4. 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Minus 4 square is 16. Everything over 6. Remember, square root. So this is 4 plus 20, 24, 25, 34. So this is 34 over 6. And so if we divide this, 6 into 34 is 5.66. So approximately 5.67, which is C. Find the median of the frequency distribution in this table. We're given the age and we're given the number of students. For us to find the median, we need to look for the n plus first term because they are odd numbers here. 2 plus 3 is 5, 10, 13. So this is over 2. 13 term plus 1 over 2. This is the 14th over 2. So the 7th position, we need to look for the 7th position. Position rather. So starting from here, this is 5, this is 2, 5, 10. So this is where the median class is. So the median is 21, which is C. Evaluate the integral of 3x to the power minus 4 dx. Recall that integral of x to the power m is simply x to the power m plus 1 over m plus 1 plus c. So therefore, integral of 3x to the power minus 4 dx is 3x to the power minus 4 plus 1 over minus 4 plus 1 plus c. And this is 3x minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3 plus c. 3 can cancel this. So we have minus x minus 3 plus c. And so our answer is, and this is the same as minus 1 over s cubed plus c, which is c. Differentiate 3x minus 2 to the power 2 with respect to x. So how we do this, recall that if y is equal to x to the power 5, what we do is the y, the x, multiply this, 5x, subtract 1 from this, that's 4. However, if it's a function of a function, so if we have y equals to cos 3x, we differentiate the inner function and then differentiate the outer portion. That is chain rule. So the y, the x, to differentiate 3x, we have 3 times, to differentiate cos 3x, we have minus sine 3x. So this is minus 3 sine 3x. So this y equals 3x minus 2 all square. The y, the s will be differentiate the outer one, which is 2 times 3x minus 2 times differentiate the inner one. If I differentiate 3x, I get 3. I differentiate 2, which is a constant, is 0. So this is simply 6 3x minus 2. And if I open the bracket, this will be 18x minus 12. That's the, if y equals x squared minus 1 over x, find the y the x at x equals 1. So you want to recall how we differentiate. Remember, if we have y to the s to the power m, the y, the x is simply this multiply this number as mx, and then we subtract 1 from the power m minus 1. So we have to apply this here and then substitute 1 for x. That gives us our answer. So for y equals x squared minus 1 over x. This is same as y equals x squared minus x. From laws of indices, we can rewrite this as x to the power minus 1. And so if we apply this here, the y, the x, give us this multiply 2x, to subtract 1 it becomes 1, and this minus 1 multiplies this becomes plus 1, x, we subtract 1 from this becomes minus 2. And so you can take back this to this form. The y, the x is now 2x plus the same as 1 over x squared. Now we are asked to find this at x equals 1. We simply substitute 1 for x after differentiating, so that the y, the x at x equals 1 is 2 into 1 plus 1 over 1 square. 2 into 1 is 2. 1 over 1 square is 1. So this is 3. That's it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Till meet again, keep enjoying maths. Bye.